A battle can be won before the first arrow flies.
Sometimes, the sun is a weapon. Sometimes, retreat is the sharpest blade.
In 1260, the world believed the Mongols could not be stopped.
My Sultan, the Mongol horde is near.
But one ruler chose a different kind of courage.
A demand arrived in Cairo: submit or vanish. He didn't answer with words. He answered with a decision. And a plan no one would recognize until it was too late. They marched toward a spring called Ain Jalut.
The trap was simple.
Here, at the Spring of Goliath, two empires clashed. It was August 1260.
If you want the next forgotten world, subscribe, and we'll uncover it together.
2 years earlier, Baghdad fell, and the shockwave traveled everywhere.
The Mongol tide pushed into the heart of the Middle East. Cities surrendered to survive.
Rumor was faster than any army.
But in Egypt, there was a society built for war. Mamluks, soldiers forged by discipline, not birth. Their new sultan, Qutuz, faced a choice.
Submit or be erased.
If he bowed, Egypt lived today and died tomorrow.
So he chose the only future that still belonged to him.
The envoys arrived with certainty. And Cairo answered with defiance. Diplomacy ended. Qutuz needed more than courage. He needed genius. He had Baybars. Together, they planned a war inside the enemy's expectations. They would meet the Mongols on ground of their choosing. Not behind walls, but in open country. And they marched during Ramadan. The date would be called legend. The Mongol force in the Levant was led by Kitbuqa. A commander hardened by victories. But events far away pulled the main army back. A large part withdrew, leaving a strong detachment behind.
Kitbuqa stayed.
His strength was speed, a deadly rhythm of arrows.
Mamluks understood that rhythm.
Baybars searched for a place where speed becomes a trap.
Ain Jalut was not just a location.
It was a resource. It was a corridor. At the right hour, it was a blinding light.
The plan demanded timing. The enemy had to believe they were winning. So he offered them the story they wanted and hid the ending behind the hills.
Kitbuqa expected the usual fear.
He did not expect a lesson. On September 3rd, as the trap opened, the battlefield narrowed. Not to win. But to invite pursuit. A retreat performed like theater. Fast enough to look like fear.
Slow enough to be followed.
The battlefield narrowed. Arrows filled the air. Baybars gave ground, carefully. And the sun climbed into the enemy's eyes.
Kitbuqa pressed, certain the retreat meant weakness.
He believed, Wana. He believed the story.
Chaos without collapse. Chaos without collapse.
Wait for it. Every step measured.
The pursuers crossed the threshold.
The ground changed.
And the formation stretched. Behind the hills, the real army waited. Qutuz waited for one moment. All he needed was one more step.
Not yet.
The chase became hunger.
Charge! Forward! Kitbuqa committed!
A sting, just enough to provoke.
They dare mock us! Charge! And the provocation worked.
They drove into the valley's throat.
Now, only timing.
One sound changes history.
The hills moved.
From both sides, steel and thunder. The glare that fueled pursuit now hid the net.
The formation turned. Too late. Qutuz committed the heart of his army.
Not as a symbol, but as the turning weight.
Now the theater became the blade. This is where tactics became fate. A battle is a story, written in movement.
Kitbuqa refused to break. He struck back!
But the trap was not a wall. It was a net.
And the net tightened.
It closed in geometry.
The chase became a cage!
All you see is dust. And time ran out.
Kitbuqa held the center.
He stood as the world turned against him.
The unstoppable became stoppable.
Qutuz did not chase glory.
Baybars chased certainty.
The valor released the defeated.
Victory leaves scars, even when unseen.
Ain Jalut returned to silence. But the date remained.
And danger did not end today.
History rarely ends at the battlefield.
That night, they didn't feel like legends.
They felt like survivors. And power began to move.
On the journey home,
Victory turned into politics.
Qutuz would not rule long. Egypt stayed standing. The westward storm met its limit.
And the battlefield returned to silence.
But the lesson was recorded.
Courage is not only charging forward. Sometimes it is choosing where the enemy will fall.
Next, the evolution continues. Tactics become technology, and technology becomes destiny.